course for people who want to, people who are quite accomplished painters, but technically and skillfully, if you like, but they want to expand their creativity. They've sort of become quite good at recording what they can see, you know. So you've got all the tools in the box, if you like, but they want to become a little bit more creative in a contemporary way. So I help them sort of unlock their creativity and put a few more tools in their box. Yes, it's in southwest France, very close to Cognac. So it's about sort of in between sort of south of La Rochelle, north of Bordeaux, a little bit inland towards Cognac. And it's in a beautiful setting with sunflowers and grapevines, and it's in a very small hamlet there. It sounds ideal if you want to paint the landscape or something like that and do something nice and chocolate boxy, but the course isn't really about that. It's a studio-based course, and it's for artists who want to spend a whole week just immersed in their work without having to think about everyday things. So obviously the food and accommodation is all supplied. If you fly there, we pick you up from the airport and bring you back to the airport when you leave. So it's a great opportunity for someone just to sort of spend a whole week in the studio with a tutor, me, and I try to help people to unlock their creativity, if you like. So I'm not really teaching how to paint in a formal, traditional way. I'm trying to help people be a bit more creative than that, and sort of painting the landscape or creating a chocolate box, a nice pretty picture.
Your style is abstract. The work that you've been working on in recent years stems from abstractions. Is that something that you'll be explaining more to those who perhaps come from a painting background but haven't really explored the possibilities of abstraction and applying that within their body of work that they'd like to work on? Is it from a learning perspective, is that what you'll be imparting, your knowledge of abstraction to the people participating?
Yes, partly. I don't particularly encourage people to become an abstract painter. It's it's more creative in a way. It's more about being contemporary in your approach to painting. So it could be figurative as long as it's contemporary. So I don't particularly encourage people to become an abstract painter. But yes, that's part of the teaching, obviously, to understand abstraction. But no, it's not totally abstract. I would describe it as a contemporary painting course.
When is the next course coming up? What date?
The next one is September the 25th until the 1st of October, so it's Saturday to Saturday.
What equipment do people need to bring with them?
You could bring some of your own favourite tools, but obviously understand if people are flying. What we've done in the past is we provide it's a small sort of skeleton pack of paint and brushes and palettes. So the studio's there waiting. We've got easels and the paint and brushes where you could turn it with nothing and still create something. So it's not a problem. But if people want to work on canvases, we normally work on paper because it's about creating ideas so that you can go away after the course and then you're fired up and you're loaded up with ideas to continue that body of work. And that's something we do encourage on the courses, to help people create a way of working where they can create a body of work rather than just one-off all the time. So as far as materials are concerned, we do provide the materials, the basic materials. But obviously some people have their favourite tools, their favourite brushes and things like that they want to bring with them, which you could do quite easily on a flight.
With regard to the accommodation, is the accommodation on the same site as where the classes are being held, where the class is being?
Yes, the accommodation, it's all the accommodation is actually in the hamlet, and some of them are actually attached to the house, which is where the studio is. So yes, the accommodation is all within walking distance. So really you just got to fall out of bed in the morning, go and get your breakfast and try and recover from the night before, and then stumble into the studio, and then you can spend the day in there working very hard. I'll be cracking the whip.
With regard to any people with special dietary requirements, is that accommodated easily?
Yes, that's all catered for, yes. It's all under the umbrella of there's a company called Creative Vacances, and they've been providing, very experienced now, they've been providing courses for musicians, and there's a for example, I can just off the top of my head I can give you some idea of what goes on. There's a saxophone course, there's a jazz manouche guitar course, there's a blues guitar course, there's a mandolin, fiddle course, so that week after week, and so they're very experienced with catering with large numbers, catering for large numbers, and so we use the music studio as a studio when we arrive. It's very organised. So there's 3 meals a day. There's your breakfast, your lunch, and your evening meal. And if you haven't had enough to drink the night before, there's an honesty bar in the studio as well. So you can everything is catered for. It's worth looking at the website. It's creativevacances.com, and they've got a lot of experience with catering for a lot of people.
How typically, how large are the classes that you tutor for these retreats?
That depends on obviously the size of the studio. So you know, we can accommodate in a studio. We can accommodate between 10 and 12 people, and also the non-participants are welcome. Non-participant partners, if you like, they can go along and just go out for the day, and you know, obviously it's not a strict course for the artists that are there. You don't have to be in the studio every day if you don't want to. You know, you could go off with your non-participant partner for the day and go and see the local sites and spend a bit of time looking around. There will be downtime, but we usually have a look. We have a meeting when we get there and see who wants what, and we try to tailor the course for the needs of the group.